Max, let's go to the Dairy Max Built by Nature hotline and bring in the head coach of the 4-0 Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial Patriots. We are joined by Coach Cody Simper. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing well, Greg. How are you?
Excellent. How are things in beautiful Corpus Christi, Texas?
Well, we're getting through a little bit of a rainy patch right now, but other than that, it's all sunshine and football.
Fantastic. Well, a lot of sunshine so far this year. You guys come off of a really fantastic win over Corpus Christi Flower Bluff. You know, the game, obviously, you're not in the business of looking ahead. We can do that because we're just knuckleheads who talk about it. But that it sure seemed like you guys are the front runner in that district now. From your perspective and from the perspective of the program, how big was that win last week over Flower Bluff?
Well, it was important to us just because it was, we're in district play, and every game that we have now counts towards reaching our goals. We're only 2 games into this district, and we have 6 more to go. So we try not to put too much emphasis on one game over another. They're top to bottom, our district, we feel like, are very talented, and we feel like any of our teams in our district can win any given night because there's really not a team that across the board is just better than everybody else. So matchups are going to play a key role in how this thing plays out, and we just want to be focused each week.
You guys last week moved to 4-0 on the season, a fantastic start for you guys. What do you think we knew you guys were looking good going into the year, and we thought that you guys had a chance to be pretty good, and I know you thought that as well. Through this first 4 games, what have you learned about your team?
We've learned that we've got a group of gritty young men. We found ourselves multiple scores behind in 2 of these football games, and our second non-district game was against San Antonio Churchill, and they were up 14-0 against us, and our young men found a way to come back and take that one. And we found ourselves in the same situation against Flower Bluff this last week. We knew that it was going to be an emotional game, and we wanted to be able to really weather the storm during the first quarter and get our game plan rolling, and we didn't do a very good job of that. We found ourselves in a 14-0 hole to start that game, and our guys just kept plugging away, kept battling, kept fighting, and most importantly, kept believing in each other, and were able to find a way to win.
We're talking with Coach Cody Simper of the Veterans Memorial Eagles here on Texas Football Today. I misspoke. I said Patriots earlier. Who's that? Is that Mission Veterans Memorial? I'm sure you get that all the time. There's a lot of Veterans Memorials out there. You guys are
Yes, we do. There are several Veterans Memorials, so it gets confusing.
You guys are the ones who are winning right now. But we're talking with Cody Simper, the head coach of the Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial Eagles here on Texas Football Today. You can involve the conversation, #TF Today. Coach, you have built this program from scratch. You're the only coach this program has ever known. Obviously, you've got sights set ahead, and you're not in the business of looking backwards. But when you look at how quickly this program has grown, is there a sense of pride in what you guys have built?
Well, of course there's a sense of pride. I think that most importantly there's a giant sense of pride among our players. These guys have been here since the beginning and have really can look back and remember the struggle that we went through trying to get this program off the ground, and for them to know the amount of work that they put in to turn it into what it is now in such a short amount of time is something that they can take pride in, and really the coaches, we're just happy to be along for the ride with those guys.
Well, it's been a fantastic start for you guys, and one of the things that kind of stands out to me is, for years and years, probably basically for better part of a couple of decades, Cal Allen has kind of been the flagship program down there in the Corpus Christi area. This is a football-crazy part of the state. You guys have made this big surge of late in your infancy. Do you think that you guys are or challenging for the flagship program of Corpus Christi right now?
That's not really for us to say. Mm-hmm. We really just want to go out each week and play the games that are on our schedule and play to win. There are a lot of really good football programs here. Obviously, the Cal Allens and the Flower Bluffs have been doing it really well for a long time. Alex and GP traditionally is also very good. And just to be mentioned with those guys and with those programs is an incredible honor, because those coaching staffs, to be able to provide the consistency and stability to win over such a long period of time is something that's incredible. So we're nowhere near being able to do that yet, because we are still so young in our program. But the fact that we're able to compete at that level at this time is something we're very proud of.
You guys your defense has been outstanding to start the year so far. You started off with a shutout of Ed Couch-Elsa. You hold San Antonio Churchill down. Last week, it seems like when your defense needed the big plays against Flower Bluff, you guys came through. How would you characterize your defensive identity there with the Eagles?
I think we're experienced, especially at the linebacker position and in the secondary. We have a bunch of young guys playing up front that we're excited about for the next couple of years. We feel pretty strongly about that unit. But we also have a lot of football underneath our belt. This is our third varsity season, and we have a number of our starters that have taken most of the snaps during that 3-year span. And so to be able to go into games and feel comfortable knowing that they know what their assignment is and they know how to go out and play the game the way we expect them to goes a long way. And we're happy with our defensive performances so far. I know offensively, last week we put them in a tough spot to begin the game. We threw an interception that went all the way back inside the 10. But after that, I thought that our defense did a great job of containing Flower Bluff's offense and ultimately gave us a chance to come back and win that game.
We're talking with Cody Simper, the head coach of the Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial's Eagles here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation, #TF Today. Coach, offensively, you guys are, I think, an offense that is greater than the sum of your parts. You guys all work together really well, and there's not really a ton of superstars, but one guy who's really impressed us has been David Soto, kind of your do-it-all athlete. Seems like when you guys need the big play, you're turning to him. For folks who are maybe unfamiliar with David Soto, what is it about him that makes him special?
His versatility. I mean, you mentioned that, being able to move him around and put him in spots to be successful. As you said, we don't have anybody that's going to pop out statistically. We don't have anybody that's going to go for a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns because our offense, a key component of it is ball distribution and spreading it around. But we do know that there are some times where, he's one of those guys that we need to put the ball in his hands. So if we're struggling throwing the ball and getting the ball out on the perimeter to our receivers, he's somebody that can slide in the backfield and take the snaps. He began as our starter last year at the quarterback position, so he is comfortable back there being able to do some things, and as are so many of our kids are trying to play multiple positions.
And you guys are now on your bye week. You get a week off after your big win over Flower Bluff. What are you hoping to get done? What are you hoping to accomplish? I know the work doesn't stop just because you guys don't have a game today or tomorrow. What, from your perspective, are you hoping to accomplish on your bye week?
Well, we have a couple of objectives that we're working on right now. Obviously, like pretty much every other team in the state, we want to take the opportunity to try to heal up where we may have some guys that are hurting. We also take the opportunity to work our fundamentals and really get back to the basics during our bye week. Since we're not working scheme, we can go to that and hit that every day. And it also falls at a time for us where we're at the end of our grading period next week. So we've got young men that are working on a ton of tutoring, getting ready for upcoming tests and finishing up projects so that we can make sure that we're dotting our I's and crossing our T's academically.
The next game on your docket, I'm sure October 5th, you guys are going to take on Corpus Christi Ray, where you were the head coach before moving over to Veterans Memorial. I know you guys got the win, over them back last year. Obviously this isn't your first time to face them, but what's it like whenever you go up against your former squad?
Well, it's still a bit sentimental, mostly because of the players. Those guys that are seniors are kids that we knew when we were there, and we're trying to prepare to be players for us in the future. And Coach Charlton has taken over that program and done a great job with it. I think Bradley Breckenridge, the quarterback there, is, in my opinion, one of the best quarterbacks across the entire state of Texas, and may not be getting enough credit for that. He's by far, I think, the best player in our area, and just a kid that's a threat every single snap. So preparing for him is a little nerve-wracking because sometimes you can do everything right and he can still make you pay.
We're talking with Cody Simper of Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial. One more question for you, Coach. I know you're a busy man. You are from Gonzales, yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's interesting because I have in my hand the 1999 edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. It's got Dennis Franchione and Mac Brown on the cover. Let's just pop this thing open to page 281. 281, the Gonzales Apaches, Coach Leonard McAngus. That's interesting, Coach. But I'm reading here, quarterback Cody Simper, 6 foot, 180, 4'7". The notes read, the passing game is in good shape behind all-district quarterback Simper, and there are plenty of veterans on the offensive line. Coach, my one question for you, Can you still get out there and sling it?
Absolutely not. You really went back into archives to find that one. I'm not so sure that I could throw the ball very well then. I know that I was blessed to play with a lot of really good players that I could turn around and hand the ball off to, or close my eyes and throw it down the field, and they made some great plays that helped us win some football games. But I appreciate you taking me down memory lane for that one. I fortunately get to stay around the game of high school football, and it's an honor to coach football in this state. And as a matter of fact, Coach McGangus and I are still in contact because he's the athletic director at Victoria ISD. So it's nice to be reconnected with him occasionally.
That's fantastic. It's we don't get to talk to all district quarterbacks all that often, so I had to ask you about it. He's Cody Simper. He's the head coach of the 4-0 Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial Eagles. Follow him on Twitter at VM Athletics. Coach, really appreciate your time. Congratulations again on your big win over Flower Bluff and your hot start, and best of luck next weekend down the road.
Thank you, Greg, and thank you for everything you guys do for high school football.
Absolutely. There he goes, Cody Simper, the head coach, Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial. The Eagles. You'll
get it eventually.
It's Mission. I think Mission Veterans Memorial is the Patriots.
Well, yeah, look behind me.
God bless it.
There it is.
I'm a dummy.
The Patriots.
Why did I say Eagles? I know why I said it.
You blockhead.
But then, like, Brownsville's got a Veterans Memorial. San Antonio now has a Veterans Memorial.
Yep.
I'm sorry. That's mea culpa. That's my bad. I'm gonna go up here. I'm gonna pat my chest. I'm gonna hold my hand up. That's my fault. But anyway, great to talk to Coach Simper. That's one of those guys that I literally asked you yesterday. I was like, hey, have we ever had Cody Simper on the show?
I know we've talked about him, but I could not remember if we had him on or not. And then we both remembered Step had interviewed him.
Yeah. But like we never had him on the show. And it's like that's a guy like if you go like. They were like 11-2 last year. They were really good.
Yeah.
And they're a great story. I don't know. That's one of those things that you just go, wait, how have we not had you on the show? But anyway, now we fixed that. Appreciate Coach Cody Simper hopping on with us.